Boat team finally together. Last missing piece of the Banana Boat team will be Melo, which I do think Melo is going to end up in a Lakers jersey. Also, as you're tuning in, give me your thoughts on the NBA summer so far with these moves, these crazy moves going down. Back-to-back weeks, too. It's been back-to-back weeks that we've had blockbuster. I'm not talking about small trades. I'm not talking about random things here or there, but blockbuster trades. All right, so you got my man Tyler Esparza-Powell on the show, on the BS3 Sports Show. What's going on tonight?
My God, man. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Glad to get you on the show. Perfect timing. We were like, what are we going to talk about? Well, guess what? We got a huge bomb that got laid into our lap with this trade. So give me your thoughts and opinions right off the bat. Where were you when this trade went down, and what were you thinking when it first happened with Westbrook and CP3?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just like laying in bed, and I just randomly checked Twitter, and I saw it like right as it happened. I mean, to me, it's just comedy. I mean, because I think Westbrook and Harden, they're like the same person in a way. I mean, they're pretty much the exact same. I mean, they've even played together. I'm sure they've still been close all these years, but they're so good, but they're both so, I don't want to hurt any feelings, but they're so stupid. I mean, if they would just play basketball, I think each of them would have won a championship by now. I mean, especially Houston. Houston has had so many chances, and well, OKC did too. But the Warriors, ended both of those dreams like they do with everyone. But I mean, when it comes down to it, Westbrook and Harden, it's going to be entertainment, but it's going to be funny entertainment. I don't think it's going to work at all. Obviously, they're going to make the playoffs, but I just don't see them getting out of the first round any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what I mentioned earlier. Because this is something that they both wanted, I think they'll figure out how to make it work. But the bigger part of this is D'Antoni is still the coach. Now, I gotta ask you this: are you a D'Antoni fan? Because what he's been able to do throughout his whole career has been less than stellar.
And I think you and me have discussed this before, how I just hate the run and gun. I mean, coaches like D'Antoni and Alvin Gentry, I mean, this stuff doesn't work, yet they both keep getting these upper echelon jobs that other coaches should be getting. That's just my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't work. And it's funny how, you just got to catch on. Run and gun is entertainment, and yes, it'll fill up the seats, so I get why, you establish this and you do it, but it's never going to win anybody a championship. I don't get it. But D'Antoni's the worst one. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all.
Yeah. And now with this trade, it's back-to-back weeks that we've had groundbreaking, headlining trades. As soon as the Clippers deal went down, it was just a matter of time to where Westbrook was going to go, what was going to happen. The question now is the odd man out in this situation is CP3, who's now on probably the youngest team in the NBA, maybe, with a bunch of picks. Where do you see CP3 going, or do you see him staying in OKC?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not going to be staying in Oklahoma City. I don't know, I was listening to you with the last guys discuss it a little bit, and I mean, I don't even know if LeBron wants him out there in LA. I mean, the first team that would come to mind is the Lakers, but I mean, those guys had a really good point. He can't get along with anybody, and I mean, like you said, I mean, his best days are way behind him. He had that, I think it was the year before this past season when he got hurt against the Warriors, and, that was probably the best I've ever seen him. But he's just not going to be a difference maker. So, I mean, like the people you had on said, he might as well just rot in Oklahoma City. because he's not helping nobody, in my opinion. But, I mean, if I had to pick a team, I think it would be the Lakers or Miami. Miami seems to like getting, headaches on the team.
Yeah.
I think we all know who that refers to, but yeah.
Right. So we got Tyler Esparza-Powell on the show. Real quick, we got a newcomer in the chat room, Courtney Harden. Thank you for coming in. He says, D'Antoni is still the coach. They won't. That's why it won't work. Plus, Russ and Harden are both two-ball dominant. CP3 is going to Miami, or maybe the T-Wolves is a possibility. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be another story probably next week, where CP3 goes. So let's talk about our Mavs here. Our Mavs who re-signed Porzingis, which, like I mentioned probably earlier, I'm glad that they had some type of deal in place. They had to have some type of deal in place before they made this trade, or else it would be the worst trade known to man. They didn't make very many splashes. They did add the Delion Wright, and I think those are the only two major moves. They re-signed some of the guys already on the team. But what's your thoughts on the Mavs all season? Do you think they may add anybody else?
Well, and Seth Curry 432 is a really good deal. I mean, I'm glad that he's back in Dallas. And Maxey's 435. I mean, it was funny when Maxey's 435 came out, there was people saying overpaid. But, I mean, he's the best defender on the team, and it's not really close. You look at him, and you don't think that he's like this amazing defender. But, I mean, you have so many highlights you can pull up. I mean, I remember him blocking Paul George, giving him headaches multiple times. I mean, he can block any big man. Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, I went to the game, and I think he blocked him like 3 times. He gives people headaches, and he hits open threes. So that's a really good signing. Finney Smith, 3 years, 12. I think you and me, the last time we talked, we did like a little game where you would name the players, and we would give our opinion if we thought they would be back. I don't think we were necessarily like high on Finney Smith, but for that price, it's just crazy steal. Dwight Powell, he's a guy that some of the fan base doesn't like. Some of the fan base, like myself, I'm more high on him than I'm not. I'm not in love with him by any means. I mean, he's not the best at blocking out, but when you look at all this stuff that he does and the easy buckets that he gets, he's worth the 10 to 11 million a year, no question. So I think they really did well re-signing our guys. And like a lot of the Twitter base has been saying, having some, what's the word I'm looking for? It's good for the chemistry, some longevity on the team. I mean, we haven't had a core in place since really 2011. So I think that's really good. And I think getting DeLon Wright is a great move. I mean, I know a lot of people were talking bad about that move, but I think that was good. Now, obviously, I hope we make another move. I wish we could go get Steven Adams. I mean, I think that would make this offseason like an A+ to get a tough center, someone who's good offensively and defensively, maybe one of the strongest guys in the league. I hope we can do something else, but if we can't, I have to say I'm content.
Yeah. Now the Dragic, Dragic was possibly going to be in the deal for Jimmy Butler. At this point, I don't think that's going to go down. But the reports here in Dallas on Dallas radio is that they're still interested in him, but it'll be how are you going to make it happen? I would love to see Dragic. I'm a fan of Dragic. I just don't know at this point in time if that deal is still doable with all the other deals already done now.
Yeah, and see, I'm kind of, I don't know, like when that night when that whole fiasco happened, I was really mad that they weren't, doing a meeting with Beverly. But it obviously became clear Beverly was never going to sign in Dallas regardless. There was a plan for him to stay in L.A., keep his family there, and get the same money. I mean, why would you leave on the same contract? I mean, I know he's cool with Luka and they have the same agent, but it wouldn't be worth it for him to leave. So I was disappointed. But then, when you saw Beverly just trying to re-sign right away, it made sense. I loved Dragic back in the day, but he's 33, and I mean, it would be cool to see the only two Slovenian players play together, but I don't know. I just don't feel like in a couple years when we're contending for a title, if healthy, obviously, and if we can get another Tier 2 free agent, I don't think he will be the point guard on that team. I mean, I know Jason Kidd was like 38 when we won, but it's a new league now, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, and that's rare. Jason Kidd is a rare player, and that's the only reason why that happened. If it was anybody else, that wasn't elite like Jason Kidd mentally, and, I don't think it would have happened. So,
but there's just no other 38-year-old point guard in the world who is going to, be able to guard Westbrook and Durant and Wade the way that he did. I mean, you just don't get that, especially in this era.
Right.
It's just incredible. It's incredible when you look back at 2011. It really is. I mean, that team, I still think they're the best team to ever win a title, and the story is just, and I know Dirk gets a lot of respect, but I still don't think he gets the respect he deserves. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and a lot of that is from mainstream. It can't a lot of that can't be from Dallas, but it's mainstream people outside of Dallas that just don't value what Dirk's been able to do, and being sixth? Is he sixth or fifth on the all-time scoring list too? People don't talk about that. They forget about that. That takes, you just don't do that by being a chump. So that's
and it's
Dirk.
Crazy because all these players that run the league right now, that everyone wants to talk about, Westbrook, Durant, Harden, Wade, LeBron. This man, I know we had a great team of role players, but, he was the only superstar by a mile. I know Jason Terry was huge in the finals. I know we're getting off track here, but it's absolutely insane to me that he's still, I mean, he's being disrespected. I mean, I don't watch the ESPYs or any of those award things, but I guess they didn't, announce him as one of the retirees. Are you kidding me? It's like, I would like to see what other bums they're talking about. Dwayne Wade? And obviously Dwayne Wade's not a bum, but he's not anywhere close to Dirk's greatness. I don't care that he has 3 rings to 1. I don't care about none of that, But, it's crazy, the disrespect.
That's a bold statement right there. But I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. All right, we got Tyler Esparza-Powell on the show. Shout out to the greatest from South Central in the chat room. Thank you for tuning in. Let's move over to the Clippers moves, which I've been saying this. We could possibly have all LA conference finals. Kawhi, the quiet one. Paul George, look, I said this, and I want people out there in the chat room to agree or disagree with me, but Paul George is a follower. Okay, when he was in, and I want to get your thoughts on that too. He was with the Pacers. He was doing his thing. He wanted out of the Pacers. You're not going to win anything in Indiana, so we all understand that. It was talked about him going to the Lakers. I never actually heard him say that. He ends up going to OKC. Then, last year this time, he's at a concert or at a venue with Westbrook, and he's like, I'm staying in OKC. So we're like, wow, maybe him and Westbrook have some bond, and he's going to be there to stay. A year later, Kawhi picks up the phone and calls you, and immediately, you're like, yeah, I'm going out of OKC. Like, to me, that's being a follower. If that's what he wants to be, I'm not going to knock it, but I'm just going to call it like I see it. That's a following type move right there. The leader is being, I'm going to go to a totally different team, or I'm going to stay in OKC, even though we all know you're not going to win anything in OKC, but give me your thoughts. I don't want to go off on a rant here.
Yeah, I'll talk about Paul George first, and I'll talk about the Clippers. So, honestly, I'm full of hot takes. I'm going to give you a couple here. In my opinion, there's really only 3 superstars in this league. Now, this is just off the top of my head. I could be forgetting somebody. So, everyone listening or you, don't go crazy. But to me, it's Kawhi. I think Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the world.